let's all take a second to connect into that which is greater, to remember that we're always loved, we're always led, we're never alone. Everything that's happening is happening for us, not to us, even when it doesn't seem that way, even when I don't even want to think that. There have been plenty of times in my life where things have been so difficult that I hear that phrase and I get angry. But if I look back, I can say, yeah, it did happen. Yeah, it did happen for a reason. Okay. All right. I got it. Clicking in to that which is greater for you and saying, what is it that I need to know, feel, understand? What's the nugget of wisdom that's supposed to be coming forward for me today so I can take my next step? All right, let's go. I'm going with Sean today. How are you?
I am so good. How are you?
Well, I am excellent, and I'm delighted to be here with you. What would make this an extraordinary experience for you today?
Well, I'm curious about clients who that you try to do your coaching with, but they're not necessarily in touch with their emotions about anything, and you ask them your coaching questions and they're like, I don't know, I'm not in touch with my emotions, I don't know, everything is I don't know, and it's sort of like, I don't feel like I'm coaching. There is a component of education that I have to do with some of my clients. Some of them have diabetes, so I'm not educating on diabetes. I'm educating on like how to balance blood sugar and help your energy, like drinking water and things like that, the things that we've learned in HCI. So there is a component of education there with some of them, but it's like the rest of it, is like nothing coaching is going on. If you ask me, it's because I don't know what to do to get them to open up or anything like that.
Yeah.
What do I do about that?
Yeah, I totally get that. So what I hear you saying is sometimes when you're coaching someone, there's a little bit of teaching that you're doing, and then you're trying to coach over and above the teaching, and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe I'm not asking them correctly. I mean, I'm so new at this and I'm green, I realize that, but I've got my laser coaching that I watch you do, and I have my silver bullet questions that I ask sometimes, but I'm trying to meet the client where they are and definitely not being pushy, because when they're saying I don't know, I'm not good with my emotions, you definitely don't push them. I don't want them to run away. But I'm just at like, what do I do next? What are my techniques that I'm missing, things like that.
First of all, you're doing great. You're 6 months into this journey. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Right? You really are. So you're learning, you're still figuring things out, but the fact is you're coaching, which means that's the best thing that you can be doing, because these things come up and then you learn, okay, what do I do about X, Y, Z?
Yeah.
And that's how we get to be good. Right? Encountering all the different situations and learning how to deal with them. So, couple questions for you. How many clients has this happened with?
Well, it's been two clients, and that's it.
Okay. And what was the experience with the other people other than these two?
It's been awesome. It's been more like they're in touch with that self. Of more a little intuitive about who they are and where and it's almost like the ones that I have are not exactly, if you ask me, my gut is that they are not 100% committed to making a change in everything. So that's sort of the feeling I'm getting.
For these two people or for all your clients?
For two.
In the positioning of your coaching and what you do and who you help, if you are someone who wants to go beyond the teaching, which some people may not, I mean, just to say, like we always say coaching is 20% teaching, 80% transformation. Well, you may be someone who goes, but I love the teaching part and that's what I want to do. That might not be you, Sean. It sounds like it isn't. But just for someone who might be watching or listening, that if you're that person who's like, I love the teaching part, that's what I want to do, that's all I want to do, that's fine too. But for you, it sounds like, no, I want to be coaching. Like I want to go into the deeper things.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing too, I think I've said this before, but just to presence for daily life coaching, I have an unfair advantage as a coach because you all have rapport with me because we're together a lot.
Right.
You know, I've had people come up to me from the training and be like, you're my best friend, but you don't know it because I'm with you every week. You know what I mean? Like, so we have a closeness, we have a level of trust, there's a certain amount of rapport. And so when people come on, they're just like, well, might be ready to just go there. And that's just not necessarily the same with clients that you're just meeting, right? That it may take a little longer to develop the rapport, the trust. That being said, I think the key to this is in the positioning, the kind of coaching that you're doing, and we can get specific about this in a second, but that essentially your messaging is transcending the how-to.
Okay.
And the way that you say, hey, and we can talk about this when we talk about pre-qualifying, we'll talk about that in just a moment. The kind of client that's right for this is someone who wants to achieve their goals and is excited to go even deeper and see what else is available for me, right? If I can make a change in my health, what else can I do in my life, right? That's where we're going to take this. This is not really for people who just want a list of what to eat and what not to eat.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. And you can spell that out in your, like the way you pre-qualify or the way you talk about your work, so that someone who sees that then goes, oh, well, I do just want just a list. You know, but then when you're in the opening the relationship conversation, you can reiterate, like in the opening the relationship conversation, you're going to see, are they opening up or are they not opening up? Everyone is being extremely brave, really, to trust their natural curiosity, which you do have, and to trust how much you actually have integrated. Most people think I have not integrated to become a health coach training enough. I haven't memorized everything. But you'd be surprised at how much you have integrated, how much you do, right? So I know it's a delicate balance at the beginning, but you are 100% on the right track, and keep going.
Thank you so much. I feel so encouraged and I'm tingling.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, well, we'll let you go tingle.
Thank you so much. I'll be doing it all day.
Woo! I'm gonna try that on. I want to tingle all day too. Sounds good. Okay, so hopefully that was useful. Go ahead and let us know in the comments what you're taking away from that session that you can use for yourself, that thing you wanted to hear or feel or understand. What was that nugget of wisdom for you? And Sean, thank you so much for sharing. I know that was useful. And I feel like from a coaching perspective, there was so much that I wanted to say that I actually felt like I was not particularly grounded and present. It was just so like hopped up. So I would just say, like, as the coach, if I look back on that session, Sean did an awesome job. For me, I would say it probably would have been useful for me. From a coaching perspective, there was so much that I wanted to say that I actually felt like I was not particularly grounded and present. It was just so like hopped up. So I would just say, like, as the coach, if I look back on that session, Sean did an awesome job. For me, I would say it probably would have been useful for me to ground a little bit more. And one of the ways that I do that is literally feeling my butt in the chair. You've probably seen me do grounding exercises with clients before when I feel their energy way up at the beginning of the session, where I'll have someone feel their butt in the chair, feel their feet on the floor, and then imagine energy dropping down through the butt, through the feet, all the way down into the earth. So it can be like, okay, now I'm present. So that's what I would say for myself. If I were to go back and shift, I might do that differently. But there was a lot of sort of teaching points that I think were useful. All right, so I will be back soon. I think it's going to be at least 2 weeks, hopefully not longer, but definitely watch for announcements on social for when I'll be back for daily life coaching. And certainly if you want to catch more sessions, then there's a video playlist that says Daily Life Coaching with Carey. I think there's like 21 of them there. So hopefully it's some potentially binge watching, I don't know. But I just want to appreciate all of you for showing up. I mean, every day, this is a lot to watch. You already have a lot of content that you're taking in from the training, from other things that you're doing, and the fact that you're showing up for yourself and your coaching skill every single day. I'm so impressed.